It all started back in Season 1 with Winter is Coming, but now Fog Entertainment is coming. We are back with Season 2 of Game of Thrones. Welcome guys to the channel. Been a while since we're doing some Game of Thrones reviews, but we are finally back. The schedule is going and I am looking forward to Season 2. We're starting with Episode 1, of course, another 10 episode season, and this one is called The North Remembers. Obviously the North remembering what happened in Season 1 with Ned Stark being labelled falsely as a traitor and being beheaded by King Joffrey. Now, before we continue, I was looking at the date this episode aired, and it aired in 2012, and it got me thinking, like, what a time period that was for television shows, because 2012, you've got Season 2 of Game of Thrones, you've got Season 3 of The Walking Dead, you've got Season 5 of Sons of Anarchy, you've got Season 5 of Breaking Bad. I mean, we're talking, like, some top-tier television.
Some good shit. And what happened now?
Yeah, but you look at 2024 and what do we have?
Nothing.
Not a lot.
You might get the odd good thing, but you don't get 5 running at once, do you?
No, and we're talking 5 shows that were at their best, you know.
They'll stand the test of time.
And I'm sure back in 2012 there was other shows on that people did enjoy. Like, for example, I think Supernatural was obviously running back then. People love it.
I love some Supernatural.
There was probably some good shows that I'm not thinking of right now. Dexter was running. Dexter was on. Dexter was in Season 6. So, I mean, 2012, we had some great shows going. Unfortunately, we don't really have that many great shows going now. But here, it is what it is. Was the Strain going in 2012?
No.
Nah. Well. Can't have everything in life. But anyway, let's get into it. So, the North remembers, and we start... I feel like Season 2 is a bit strange, because we had, like, all the different groups, and Game of Thrones does this, where they don't really tend to focus on one particular group an episode, which I like, because I think that there's just too much happening in Game of Thrones. They couldn't really dedicate an episode to each group. However, at the same time, when you're trying to focus on so many different locations, focus on so many different, like, families, it does kind of condense down the good stuff, in my opinion. And there's certainly more arcs, there's more characters, there's just characters that you're more interested in than others.
No, absolutely. And I think with Game of Thrones, because it's like a war, I do like to see from all sides in the one episode. I wouldn't have to wait to the next episode to find out what Starky boy wants.
Yeah, so we're probably not going to review it in order. We're probably going to just review it in location.
Well, let's start by up north, right? North of the Wall. We've got Jon Snow, and we've got some guy that likes fucking his kids, right? So, like, automatically, this is a red flag.
Now, he's not the only guy, because we also have the guy that was in David Bradley. I forget the character he plays. They had to pass the bridge in Season 1.
Aye.
And he had this thing where he fucks his daughters.
Yes, but at least there was, like, loads of other people in his kingdom. In this place, it seems like he's the only guy there, and he's like, oh, if you lay a hand on my daughter, Jon Snow, I'll kill you. It's like, hold on here. You're outnumbered. How the fuck does this guy think he is making threats? I get it, they're in his territory, but... What, are they going to stop doing the dishes to fucking batter Jon Snow?
Yeah, I don't get it. So Craster, he basically has wives, and he sleeps with his wives, who then give him more kids. And if they give him daughters, those daughters become his new wives. Now, I don't know how long they have to wait, but it's fucked up either way, so let's not say that, oh, this guy might not be that bad. No, he's a horrible piece of shit, and I don't know why Jon Snow wasn't just allowed to... I think Lord Commander Mormont should have just allowed Jon Snow to off this guy right here, but
see, I think this is a bit unrealistic, right? I get it, Game of Thrones, it's very dragony, but see if this was real, like in these medieval times, I think these men at the Wall, right? They haven't had, like, interaction with women. Realistically, they probably would have killed this guy and raped all his daughters. I think that's what would have happened. But plot...
Yeah, but these guys, they're not bad. I mean...
Well, some of them... The Wall's full of scumbags, apparently. But I think that's what would have happened.
Lord Commander, Mormont's not.
He's not, but do you see where I'm coming from?
Jon Snow's not.
Jon Snow's not, but the rest of them, man, they're all...
Samuel Tarly hasn't even seen a female in 6 months.
With the guy that was getting bummed by a priest.
Should have just looked at his own tits if he was that interested.
If he was that bothered.
Anyway, Benji Starks gets a mention, and everyone gets told, look, if you touch any of my daughters, you lose your hand.
Yeah,
so.
but who's going to initiate that? It's like, you're the only guy here that can. Why would the big wall commander be like, you know what, I'm actually going to cut off all the fucking hands because you said so?
Yeah, Craster then just insults them. Again, completely outnumbered, but continues to insult them, saying that they're all Southerners, even though Jon Snow claims to be for the North. Craster doesn't care. He thinks everything is southy where he is. Craster then he scalds Lord Commander for the paths that they've taken in life. Craster's like, look at me, I'm surrounded by all these young women, and I mean, you're surrounded by boys. So I don't know if he was trying to make a gay joke there, but Lord Commander Mormont didn't really fall for it. I think
the Lord Commanders came out on top.
Yeah, and then outside, the Lord Commander just scalds Jon Snow and says, you want to be a leader one day, well, learn how to follow. And I think that's a decent wee quote there.
It is a decent wee quote, but what does he want Jon Snow to do? Just fucking sit there with his tail between his legs? It's alright, mate, you just rape your daughters, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, in King's Landing, Joffrey is holding a tournament to celebrate his name day on the walls of the Red Keep. We see a fight between the Hound and some guy. I mean, I don't know how they decide it, who's who, or who takes on your opponent, but this guy must have drew the short straw here.
Yeah, he definitely did draw the short straw, because anyone not going up against this guy is done for.
Hound kills him, the guy gets dragged away, then like a wee kid has to come on, clean all the blood. Bit weird, but I mean, I guess that's the times that we're dealing with, probably perfectly normal back then.
Yep, and Joffrey.
See, if you're a wee kid, I guess you would much rather clean blood than be in the hands of Craster, so
exactly,
especially if you're female. But anyway, we have a guy who turns up late to fight, drunk. This guy doesn't look like he's in any condition to fight. Literally does. Like, I don't know how this guy was so fat, considering that he's not like a king or it. Like, it doesn't really make any sense. A bit with Samuel Tarly, it's like, see, unless you're rich, like, I don't see how you can be fat in these times.
Maybe overactive thyroid.
Didn't they use fucking lame pish like that, didn't they, know, back in these days?
They shouldn't have bloody hired fat actors.
Oh, I've got a low metabolism.
They shouldn't have hired fat actors then, they should have got skinnies. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Joffrey says, well, if you want to drink, you can drink, and he gets his guys to basically drown this guy in wine, but we have Sansa saying you can't. Joffrey's not happy about this. What do you mean I can't? She makes up some shite about it's bad luck, and the Hound confirms this. So the Hound's like, yeah, you know, anyone who kills on their name day has bad luck apparently for the next year. So Joffrey is not going to kill him. And then we get Tywin Lannister. Or Tyrion Lannister, should I say. Tywin. We don't know where Tywin went. We didn't see Tywin in this episode, but we get Tyrion. He has arrived. He congratulates Joffrey on his namesake. Makes a couple of digs about why weren't you on the battlefield. Joffrey says, I've got a kingdom to run.
I think Tywin's acting the big fucking man here.
He wasn't really... I mean, he got knocked out. It's not like he was actually picking up a sword and...
You got knocked, yeah.
Probably got knocked out on purpose, so he didn't have to go to war. But anyway, yeah, so that's that, really. He gives his condolences to Sansa for her father, but Joffrey's not having it. Joffrey says, her father was a traitor. But Tyrion's like, well, surely after losing your father, you can sympathise. But, I mean, Joffrey's a cunt. He can't sympathise with nothing.
No, he can't sympathise with hee-haw.
Sansa then confirms, no, my father was a traitor, so that's basically it. Sansa's afraid of Joffrey, wrapped underneath him. And they've got a small council meeting, and it's ironic that it's called the small council meeting, and then Tyrion Lannister walks in.
The smallest man of them all.
With a letter from Tywin saying that he is to act as Hand of the King. While Tywin's not there, Cersei becomes livid, she kicks everyone out, wants to know how father gave Tyrion this role, gave him this position, and Tyrion basically says, well, you fucked up. You allowed Ned Stark to be executed, and then he finds out that she's also allowed Arya Stark to be, I don't know, not to be escaped, but she's allowed Arya to escape.
No, like, how wrong is it though, right, that this Tyrion guy, or Tywin, the granddad,
or Tywin,
like, how fucking demeaning is it to him to be the Hand of the King, and he's this, like, big fighter? old. He's like 60. He's been there, done that, and he has to fucking play
I'm a Lannister.
He has to play second fiddle to some incestuous 14-year-old spoiled bastard.
That's probably why I just sent Tyrion him.
Well, no, probably is. But I'm looking forward to the dynamic when he turns up.
Oh, me too.
If he does.
That's really it then. So
I could watch him cut a deer every day.
Cersei is not happy that Tyrion's there, but I guess Tywin's even less happy of the situation and how they've basically allowed all their enemies to unite and basically want to come after the Lannisters. And I say Lannisters because there is no Baratheons really. I mean, Joffrey's not a Baratheon, he's a Lannister. That was it really in King's Landing. We have Shae, she's in the chambers. Tyrion was told he wasn't allowed to bring his whore to the King's Landing, but she's there.
We need to get the bastards as well.
So Tyrion says that he can't be seen, so is that her life then? Just going to be trapped up in this tower and never be seen
what a
again? Cersei talks with Peter Baelish about finding Arya, and I honestly do not know where she makes a joke. She kind of not a joke, but she kind of rubs it in, tells a story about how Peter was in love with Caitlyn, but Caitlyn didn't care and she was only interested in Ned Stark. And then for some reason, Peter Baelish just finds the balls out of nowhere to basically say he knows the truth, and that there's these rumours going around of sisters and brothers and having incest and incest children. I don't know what possessed him to think this was a good idea.
Yeah, I didn't get this at the time because the guy's a shite bag.
I get it, he's retaliating because
it's one thing threatening Ned Stark because he would read the terms and conditions before doing anything about it. But I mean, as Cersei's shown here, she was going to fucking kill him. She just showed that, here, I can have you killed.
Yeah, because, I think, she's shown him that Peter Baelish, Littlefinger said that knowledge is power, but Cersei then demonstrates that power is power. Another good quote there.
But see, it just goes to show, though, that, Ned was threatening the leverage of the whole, Joffrey's the bastard son of Jaime and Cersei, but now it's pretty much out in the open and no one really cares apart from their enemies. It's not like people at King's Landing are like, we don't trust Joffrey.
I know, but I think it's a bit different now because Joffrey's already king. Had that came out when Robert was king.
Yeah, but
that's a game changer.
That's where it's corrupt as fuck. It shouldn't matter if he's king or not.
Well, he basically it does matter.
No, but when Ned was talking about it, Joffrey was like, the throne was fucking still warm for Robert's fat arse when Ned was talking about bringing the secret out, and Joffrey was sitting on it.
No, when King Robert was the king, when Ned was threatening it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when Cersei just ripped it up in front of them. And that old guy was just fucking looking at it like, what, you just ripped it up?
True, but I mean, I think that's Ned just being... I don't know. I think Ned, he should have seen that coming.
He should have seen it coming, but the more I think of it, it's like, was Ned snookered either way? Was the black behind the white no matter what Ned Stark did?
He probably needed to reveal the information while Robert was alive. Now, Renly did say, look, we can take it by force, and I think that was probably the best bet.
Yeah.
But Ned said, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to shed blood, and then Renly ran off with his boyfriend. So... I mean...
Like a real man.
Yeah. Cersei then sees that Joffrey is redecorating the throne room. He says that this throne needs to be worthy of a real king, so he's got a new throne. He talks about these horrible rumours that he's hearing, and he asks Cersei, did King Robert go and fuck other women when he was bored of her? She slaps Joffrey, and everyone kind of looks around and turns their heads again, afraid. And Joffrey pretty much says, what you done there is punishable by death, and it will never happen again. So,
yeah, again, it's kind of like plot armor that's protecting Cersei. But it's almost like...
Well, you need to be a fucked up king to actually just sentence your mother to death over one strike,
True, but I think the powers already went to Joffrey's fucking dome. I think he's serious when he says, if you do that again, I'll kill you. I don't think she should do that.
I don't think there's many people that could have done that and wouldn't have got killed.
Oh, aye, yeah.
Maybe Tywin could have done it.
True. I mean, I guess you've got the last name Lannister.
I think if Tywin slapped Joffrey, Joffrey would apologise.
Sorry.
Anyway, we get Lord Janos Slint then. So I mean, there's too much sex scenes in Game of Thrones for my liking. I don't want to be gay here and complain about it, but it's like it's all the fucking time, and it's like it's just weird. Like you can literally be watching, and this sex scene comes on. It sounds like it's a porno or something. It's a bit strange, but anyway, Janos Slint has...
Especially when half of it's incestuous.
Yeah, it's like, do we really need to see that? And I mean, half the people don't even look of age, man. It's fucking strange. And anyway, Lord Janos Slint comes in, and basically he's just killing all the bastards. So they raid the whorehouse. I mean, I guess if you're going to find bastard sons, the whorehouse is a pretty good place to look.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. So he comes in, he raids the whorehouse, and literally we see a baby get his throat slit. Now we don't see it, but it happened.
How could they confirm it was Robert? So,
well, that guy seemed to know. They had a prisoner who they dragged in, and he seemed to confirm, yeah, that's Robert's. They killed anyone, and I guess there was quite a lot because we see a lot of people get killed here. But pretty much anyone who was Robert's and had a claim to the throne was killed. The only guy they didn't get was Gendry, who had already escaped, and then we see that he is with Arya, who makes her only appearance of the episode pretty short.
See, right, but if Joffrey's king, right, does the claim to the throne for Robert not fucking irrelevant if he's already who's going to overthrow Joffrey at this stage? I mean, what's killing the bastards doing, really?
Well, that's a good point. See
it's a show of power, really.
See if Gendry walked in. See if instead of escaping, if Gendry walked in and went, "Hold on, Joffrey, your mother and father were fucking their brother and sister. I should be the true king because, my dad was actually Robert Baratheon." Is Joffrey just going to get up and say, "Oh, here, mate, take a seat on the throne"?
Come on.
Do you know
I like it quiet.
Do you know what I mean? Obviously not, but I guess this just ties up loose ends.
I mean, it ties up loose ends, but it only really works. The only...
See if you've got people like Ned...
You're tying up a loose end in case you lose the war against everyone else, and they want to put an actual son of Robert in. But then why would Robb Stark want to have a fucking... a bastard Baratheon lead the kingdom?
Well, I mean, Robert Baratheon did put in writing that he wanted Ned Stark to lead until Joffrey came of age.
Yeah.
So, I could understand that in that. So, see if Ned Stark is, still there and he's very honourable, maybe then you would want to kill all the Robert's bastards because you think that maybe Ned Stark, let's say Ned Stark didn't know and then he found out, he's the man we honour. He'd probably go, actually, you know what, I'm not going to keep this seat warm for Joffrey anymore because it should go to Gendry. But, I mean, again, like you said, I mean, if Gendry walks in and declares to be the rightful king, is he going to be awarded the crown? Probably not.
It's a waste of exercise. It's almost like they're killing them in case they lose, because who would appoint one of the bastard sons king? Who would do it?
Yeah, but
even if the Lannisters lost, it's almost like they're preparing for something if they lost.
Yeah, but even Stannis, I mean, he's going to be like, no, it should be me. Not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. And Robb Stark, all the other people who, I know Robb Stark doesn't have a claim to the throne, but if he wins the battle and wanted to take over, then he kind of does. But
well, maybe it's like Winterfell. See if Ned didn't have any children with Caitlyn. I guess Jon Snow would be in line, wouldn't he? Despite not being a Stark.
See, I thought Joffrey's problem would have been more, here, am I actually his fucking son rather than... I don't think
he liked them anyway, so...
Yeah, it's actually
I think it was mutual.
It's more, his bastard sons, not just me.
Aye, anyway, get rid of them. At Winterfell, we see Bran Stark. He's basically... I mean, he's like Lord Bran Stark now. He's in charge.
Yeah.
Just a bit weird. We've got some disabled kid here who's running things. See if you ever wanted to attack Winterfell, now is the time to do it. And then we get Hodor takes... I don't think Hodor should be carrying any kids out into the woods.
No.
I'll never forget that scene in season 1 where Hodor is just in the woods with Bran and he's just fucking pure naked, bollock naked. What was the point of that?
No, that was messed up.
He wasn't even washing though.
No, he wasn't.
He was just running about fucking naked. It's what are they doing? I thought that was strange. Anyway, you anything to add here about Winterfell? Or?
It's hard to care about Winterfell.
Especially when all the top players aren't there.
See the map of Game of Thrones, right? Like the actual geographical map. How does it work? Because, yes, they're all out in the battle zone, but is it not possible to get from King's Landing to Winterfell without running into Robb Stark and the armies? Like, could Joffrey not send like a couple of thousand men to Winterfell to kill Bran and the rest of them?
Possibly. We'll find out.
I think too much leverage is on Jaime Lannister's head, by the way. I mean, see, at the end of the day, he's just a family... Oh, he's the King's Slayer, whatever the fuck his nickname is. He's just a Lannister. He's not in a position of power, realistically. I think they can afford to lose Jaime Lannister. I think losing Jaime Lannister but winning the war is a sacrifice worth taking for the Lannisters. I don't think getting him back and giving up positions of power and giving up the Stark children is really worth it for the Lannisters. It's just the whole fact...
Well, I think it's worth it for Tywin.
Worth it in what way?
Fucking Jaime Lannister's his only real son. Oh. Tyrion's a monster, isn't he, really, at the end of the day?
He's a fuck.
He is the golden child, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but you say that, but he's that piss, he doesn't even want to go to King's Landing to have a debate. To have a say in it. He sends the imp to have his hand. If he was that bored of it, Jaime had done something about it.
No, you know how much the name means. Hold on. Tywin was willing to try and get Tyrion back because he's fucking got the name Lannister. So he's not going to be happy that Jaime's been held captured.
What's he done about it?
Well, we don't know. I mean, maybe he's preparing something.
Aye, fuck, a deal. Is he preparing a meal for Robb Stark?
Alright, let's go on to Dragonstone. I don't believe we've seen Dragonstone in season 1.
We didn't.
I believe this is a brand new... a brand new location. So we have
brand new pile of shite.
We get introduced to King Stannis Baratheon and his new advisor, Miss Melandri. She is, I don't know, she's got some sort of like fascination with fire.
Aye.
We have Master Crescent. He's outraged that the gods are being humiliated here by Melisandre, and that she's leading Stannis into a war that he cannot win. She's like, we can go. We've got the fire. We've got the Lord of the Light behind us, but the Lord of the Light doesn't really mean shit. It's just some like made up sort of female energy, and I think like women are like when in situations like this they are delusional. It's like they believe in like positive energy and spirits. The Lord of the Light ain't gonna win you shit.
No.
Just like this Master Crescent guy said, or this, like, how many ships does the Lord of the Light have?
I thought Stannis was actually better though, when he was just mentioned by name rather than it didn't fill me with much hope. Like even when they're reading it, like the letter of intent or whatever it is, he's like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah,
no.
I thought it was funny because he's writing a letter about what he wants, what he demands, and I mean he's wanting to bash Jaime Lannister, but at the same time he's like, call him the Kingslayer. He's he did slay a king. He stabbed him in the back, but then he's like, no, wait, give him his rightful titles. He did earn them, and it's like, make up your. So I think Stannis seems fair.
Yeah, but he also seems like a shite bag. He's not even that bothered that they've killed Robert. He's not.
He did say, like, my dear brother. He said, I didn't love him. He didn't love me.
Yeah, and then that makes you feel like, well, if he feels that way towards him, what's he going to feel like towards his bastard kid? I mean, look at the honourable man Ned Stark. Look at how he treated his bastard son.
Yeah, some difference here.
Yeah, but even that's my point though. It's not like Ned Stark treated Jon Snow like he was the Rock. He was the black sheep. So if that's the most honourable man in the Seven Seas, and what's this guy going to do?
Exactly.
His brother who he didn't like's bastard son.
Master Crescent asks Davos to help intervene, but Davos says the time is not right. Davos, I believe, is a well-known actor. I think he's from Scotland, isn't he?
Aye,
or is he from England?
Dog Soldier.
Anyways, he's been in a lot of like British movies. So Stannis then reveals that he received a letter from Ned Stark, and he was the only one that Ned Stark told about King Robert and the bastard sons. So Stannis says that he will send copies announcing his claim to the throne to the entire Seven Kingdoms. So basically everyone is now going to know that Cersei and Jaime were sleeping together, and that Joffrey has no real claim to the throne.
What you could say here is that Ned Stark's honour's out the window because he's already sent the letters, he's sent the emails.
I mean, true, but Ned Stark probably, we don't know when he sent this, but I mean, Ned Stark did say to Renly that Stannis is the rightful king.
He did say that.
So Ned Stark, I don't think it's Ned Stark being like not honourable because he's told the rightful king that he should be king.
Where is Renly?
Well, he took off with his bum boy after Ned Stark refused to.
I don't actually want to know what they're doing, so let's move on.
Although apparently he's got a massive army now. It was mentioned 100,000. Anyway, so that is pretty much it. And
why is the woman though not affected by the poison, but big old man is?
Yeah, so Craster then tries to poison Melisandre so that she can't manipulate and influence Stannis. But he takes I guess he was willing to sacrifice himself, which is very credible. Like, that's great. But for some reason, he drinks it, and she hesitates to drink it, and then she sees it is indeed poisoned because he starts to shake and bleed. But then she drinks it anyway, and literally just like finishes the whole cup in front of him. Crescent falls and dies, and Melisandre just drinks the poison and is fine. So I guess maybe she is some sort of Lord of the Light or something. Maybe she has got special powers.
Yeah, I mean, special powers would have to come into play here to survive this, but I mean, what do I think of Dragonstone? Not much, I'll be honest.
I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was better than the Red Waste.
What's the Red Waste?
Fucking
Cersei?
Daenerys?
I
think that's the worst arc for me. Anyway, right, we move to the Riverlands. Jaime Lannister's been held captured. Robb is basically telling him how it's going to go. Jaime's like, you've only won 3 wars, and all of a sudden you think you're unbeatable. And Robb tells him, well, it's better to have won 3 than lost 3.
That's a correct point.
Which it is. And then he threatens him with the Grey Wolf. There's talk about multiple people here that Robb can team up with to try and double his numbers and take on Joffrey. And I mean, that is pretty much it. And he's asked about trying to form an alliance with Renly. And he asked his mother, Caitlin, to go and see if they can make this happen, because he's the only one that he can trust.
With the Greyjoys.
And then, the Greyjoys as well. So at the moment, it looks like Robb is willing to work with as many people as he possibly can.
But see, that's the problem, though. You work with as many people as you can here, and you out the Lannisters, but then you just create another headache, don't you?
Whereas you look at Stannis, and he was like, I will not team up with anyone, I will not bend the knee to anyone, the throne is mine. So, I mean, if you look at it, Robb Stark's definitely... You can see how Robb Stark could win the war, because he's willing to work with enemies for the greater good. An enemy of an enemy is my friend.
Yeah, the more you look at this war, it's like, fuck, is this going to end anytime soon? What I would say
Well, the whole thing is literally... The whole show's about a war.
Is it?
Aye.
There you go then. But what I would say is, from Stannis' point of view, is he could just sit back and let them take a shot at it.
And then fight the winner.
Aye.
Well, he could, but
if the winner is the team that's got, like,
but he wants
3 groups of 100,000...
But he probably wants his ass on that throne as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So, there's that. And then we move to the Red Waste, which is basically Daenerys and her crew. I'm just not a fan of it. I like Jorah Mormont, but I'm not really a fan of anyone else in this little...
I don't care.
And they'll speak Dothraki.
I don't care for the horse, I don't care for the dragon, I don't care when they're speaking Dothraki. I just care when it cuts to something else.
Yeah, so the horse dies. Daenerys is upset because it was the first gift she received from Khal Drogo. Then she halts the march because people are not, they're not feeling great. They're demolished or whatever, dehydrated. And Minourished, what did I say?
Denourished.
Jesus Christ. Maybe I'm demolished because that wasn't very good. And then she sends 3 different sets of blood riders in different directions to scout for, I don't know, supplies and shit like that. And that was it. That's pretty much everything.
By the time they get there, it's going to be like a 100-year time skip. Everyone's dead. Yeah,
so who died in this episode? We had Daenerys' horse, Master Crescent Barra, who I think is the guy that Hound killed at the very beginning of the episode. No, it wasn't. It was the bastard daughter of King Robert. Is this not the one that Ned Stark seen in season 1? Poor Barra, like, throat slit, and then we had at least another 4, at least 4 of Robert Baratheon's bastards killed, so 5 minimum.
Why would they kill a daughter, though? Should they have an heir to the throne, do they?
Aye. It goes in age, so...
Doesn't there you go, then.
So there you go. That's it. There you go. Time to get into our rating now for Season 2, The North Remembers. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Thought it was decent, but I don't think it certainly wasn't as good as Season 1 premiere, that is for sure.
A lot happened, right, but at the same time, not much happened. It does feel like a direct continuation for Season 1, so I'll give it that, but again, I think Season 1, we did bash the finale a bit. I just don't think it was up to a finale standard. Episode 9 was the true finale, but here, I'll give it a 7, 6.5. There you go.
6.5 out of 10, guys. There you go. We'll catch you in the next one. Not too sure what Episode 2 is called, but the North remembers, and we'll remember to be here tomorrow. Episode 2. Catch you in that one. Till then, peace.